grade 7 students. This is teacher Larry John B. Templo from Santa Ana National High School, your teacher broadcaster for today. Let me just say, congratulations for a job well done in doing your previous modules. As you move on to another topic, make sure you have with you your English 7, Quarter 2, Module 5, and your answer sheets. In this lesson, you will learn about the relevance of summarizing and the different steps in summarizing written texts and even spoken language. So if you're all set, let's start the fun and learning now. After going through this module, you are expected to define summarizing, apply strategies for summarizing, summarize key information from a text, and distinguish between relevant and irrelevant information. Every day in our lives, we use summarizing. Being able to summarize written and spoken language is very important in communication. When we try to share our favorite movie or TV show to people who haven't watched it yet, we usually tell them this story again to help them understand what it's all about. Only this time, we make the story shorter. To fully understand what I'm trying to say, let's have a try. Students, please listen carefully as I read a short passage. One morning, Matt and Sam went to World of Fun. Matt's mom dropped them off at the gate and told them she should be back at 5 o'clock to pick them up. Matt and Sam were very excited and couldn't wait to explore the whole place. First, they rode on all the roller coasters. Then, they rode on other rides. Next, they had some lunch and walked around. In the afternoon, they rode on all the rides again. They spent all day having fun. Around 5 o'clock, Mom came to pick them up. Matt and Sam were very excited and told her all about it during the ride home. Alright, now listen carefully to the summarized text. Mom dropped Matt and Sam off at Worlds of Fun. They spent the entire day there. They rode rides and had fun. Mom picked them up in the afternoon. Students, what can you observe with the texts that you had just heard? Which of the two is wordier? The first one or the second one? Which one is more detailed? The first one or the second one? Yes, you're right. The first text that you've listened to is much wordier and more detailed, whereas the second one is not, because it is actually the summary of the story. We will learn more about summarizing and how to use it effectively. What is summarizing? Summarizing is more than just a mere retelling. It involves analyzing information, distinguishing important from unimportant elements, and translating large chunks of information into a few short, cohesive sentences. A summary is a synthesis of the key ideas of a piece of writing, restated in your own words. Whenever you write a summary, you must be careful not to copy the exact wording of the original source. To summarize is to put in your own words a shortened version of written or spoken material, stating the main points and leaving out everything that is not essential. You may wonder, why is summarizing important? Let me tell you why. Summarizing allows both students and teachers to monitor comprehension of the material. Summarizing helps students understand the organizational structure of lessons or texts. Summarizing is a skill at which most adults must be proficient to be successful. Now that it's clear why summarizing is important, your next question must be, how do you write an effective summary? First off, skim the text you are going to summarize and divide it into different sections. Focus on any headings and subheadings. Also, look at any bold-faced terms and make sure you understand them before you read. Second, now that you're fully prepared, go ahead and read the selection. Read straight through. At this point, you don't need to stop to look up anything that gives you trouble. Just get a feel for the author's tone, style, and main idea. Third, rereading should be active reading. Underline topic sentences and key facts. Label areas that you want to refer to as you write your summary. Identify the areas that you do not understand and try to clarify those points. It is really important that you identify the main points that the author is making to support the overall main idea of the article or text. Number 4, you should have a firm grasp on the text you will be summarizing. Now, write down the main idea of each section in one well-developed sentence. Make sure that when you include your sentences, you only include the key points only, not the minor details. Well-developed sentences are not necessarily long, but they are complete, and you tell the reader clearly what the idea is. Here, you need to be using your own words as much as possible and not copying from the original text. Number 5. This is the key to any well-developed summary. Review the sentences you wrote in step 4. From them, you should be able to create a thesis statement in a sentence that clearly communicates what the entire text was trying to achieve. In this sentence, you should write what you think is the overall main idea of the article and what is it about that the author is trying to make a point. Number 6, at this point, your first draft is virtually done. You can use the thesis statement as the introductory sentence of your summary, and your other sentences can make up the body. Make sure that they are in the correct order. Add some appropriate transition words such as then, however, also, moreover, that help the overall structure and flow of this summary. Number 7, reread your summary and make certain that you have accurately represented the author's ideas and key points. Make sure that you have correctly cited anything directly quoted from the text. Also, check to make sure that your text does not contain your own commentary on the piece. Number 8, once you are certain that your summary is accurate, you should revise it for style, grammar, and punctuation. So far, you have learned the actual process of summarizing. It is very important to know that only the relevant information must be present in your summarized text. Another question you may have in mind: how do you distinguish relevant from irrelevant information? Good question. Relevant information, we have here the details in the text that help support the author's ideas. On the other hand, irrelevant information tells the extra information about the main idea that is not really important to the main idea. It is very necessary to identify what is relevant, or in other words, important, and to separate that information from other data that are not necessary. To further distinguish between relevant and irrelevant information, follow these steps. First, you need to identify the main topic of the material. Second, you need to determine which supporting ideas are directly related to the topic. Third, you need to identify sentences or ideas that do not seem to be related to the main topic. Students, when you start to summarize, always remember the following. Summary is restating the ideas of a written text in your own words. Thesis statement is the big main idea that says what the whole summary is about. Summarizing is more than just retelling. It involves analyzing information, distinguishing the most important elements, and translating large chunks of information into a few short but complete sentences. Relevant information is the detail in the text that helps support the author's ideas, while the other extra information in the text are all irrelevant. When you summarize a text, you need to represent the author. Whether you agree or disagree with the ideas presented, do not include your own comments or feelings about the text. See, I just summarized our discussion for today. Piece of cake. And that's it for now, grade 7 students. I hope you learned something new in this Teleradio episode. Once again, this is your teacher broadcaster, Larry John B. Templo of Santa Ana National High School, telling you to never say no to learning. Thank you and see you next time.